With just a month before early access launch for Paralives, the indie life simulation game, this team is setting expectations straight. And honestly, this seems to be a very wise move. Now, yesterday, the team released a short video that explained exactly what to expect when it comes to early access, or at very least an overview, and they were pretty frank about some limitations. With these limitations, I feel they want to set themselves up for a good launch, and they don't want people to expect a finished game. But beyond that, we will get into how people responded, some of the questions, and overall, I would just love your opinion. Do you think this video was helpful for Paralives? Do you think it will reach the people it needs to reach? And finally, how do you feel about early access? Would you buy it right away or would you wait it out? Now, while they did narrate the video, I felt this visual was also very clever. They posted these visuals across socials, and this is yet another way people can get the information. As we know, Paralives releases December 8th. I cannot believe it's December 8th that it releases. It's when the developers release a game in early access. Of course, it means it's not complete. You will still be able to manage your para's needs, wants, life goals, and career, but they are still being improved, and you might encounter bugs and crashes. That's right, bugs and crashes. No bugs I definitely expect. I don't feel like anyone doesn't expect that, but hopefully in terms of the crashes, they are not very frequent because I think that is a little bit more concerning. That aside, you can make friends, find love, or be mean. Of course, there are still things that are lacking, like organizing social events as well as calling other paras. So I am a little bit surprised that you can't call paras whatsoever. I kind of actually expected that, so I am glad they did actually say that, because I personally already knew we couldn't organize social events, but I didn't know you couldn't call other paras at all. Again, I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, but it did surprise me a little bit. Now, moving on, getting a little bit further into the preview. For now, when a para is born, they get married or die. There isn't much of a highlight for these moments, but they do plan to add emotions and celebration. That's interesting too, so it sounds like they aren't going to react to these major life events, which I certainly hope they work on soon after early access. It's great those basic functionalities are there, but of course, what makes these events so interesting is seeing how paras actually react and how it impacts their lives. I've designed a cozy town, which we've seen many times, for us to discover, but it's still lacking activities outside of some shops and collectibles. But some hairstyles and clothing are still missing. That makes sense to me. You can't include everything at the base, and honestly, I'm not worried about Paramaker or build mode whatsoever. I just feel like it looks like it's a great foundation and there's already tons of items to choose from. There is a good selection of furniture and objects for build mode, and a wider variety will be coming out in future updates. Again, I don't feel this is the most concerning thing. There are tons of tools for customization and already a great foundation. And on that note, the build mode is pretty flexible, but some important features are still to come. These include pools, basements, and other flexible stairs and roof tools. At launch, modders will be able to add all kinds of custom content to the game that players can easily find and install using the Steam Workshop. However, one thing I am going to say is so far it sounds like they are not supporting script mods, and I haven't seen anything to contradict that. But moving on, over the 6 years of development, some features have been teased but have been put aside and will not be ready for launch. Within the next 2 years of early access, we plan to add content to every part of the game. This includes cars, pets, and deeper parenting gameplay. In this final bit, the concluding remarks really emphasize that we shouldn't expect hundreds of hours of gameplay. Don't expect hundreds of hours of gameplay just yet. We aim to get there by adding more content and details based on your feedback. As a small team of passionate life simulation fans, we have pledged that all future updates and expansion packs will be free. We are so grateful and excited to embark on this next chapter. See you on December 8th for Paralives Early Access. So again, a lot of this did not surprise me whatsoever, but there were a few aspects that actually did surprise me. And I would assume the general public might not know much about this. Setting these expectations and just being honest really does earn some respect for me. Now, I'm not gonna lie, some things I did hear concerned me. My biggest concerns, of course, are crashes. Will crashes occur often? How much are they encountering them? My other concern would be paras not having any reaction or very limited reactions to events. And I would love to be able to call other paras too. I don't know where to draw the line, and ultimately is up to them. Ultimately, they have to decide when the game is ready to launch, and of course, this is early access. The issue with early access is there isn't one strict definition, and of course, all opinions are welcome. If you think this all sounds great, that's great. If you're critical, that is fine too. And luckily, the Q&A didn't get really crazy, no one was yelling at each other, and honestly, that is just so refreshing. There are just two aspects I need to know. What are the system requirements, and in what languages the game will be available? The game will be available in 8 languages for early access, and they will post minimum specs next week. So we're gonna have to stay tuned for those minimum specs. Honestly, I don't expect them to be very high, especially based upon what they have said before. Even more exciting, someone addressed a concern I've had for quite some time, and I'm so happy with this. And Paralives said, that is in the works, stay tuned. It sounds like Paralives does plan to show us some live mode gameplay, and this is exactly what I wanted before launch. I know some people said we don't need it, but I do think it is a plus, especially for people that might just be on the fence on whether or not to buy it. And while that does come with some downsides, I think the pros personally outweigh the cons. This person asked, how much of the existing early access world will we be able to modify, change, and make our own? Paralives said, tools to edit and create towns won't be ready on December 8th, but they will come as free updates during the early access period. I personally already knew this, but again, it's good they are answering these questions because people aren't following this game super closely all the time, and honestly, I clearly miss things all the time too. Now, it feels like most people are just really excited for this game that are actually commenting on the posts, and it's great to see that excitement. Of course, there were some concerns, and that is just natural. It's fine to have some concerns. Some people are still concerned about the aspect of content being completely free, while other people think it is not going to be a problem whatsoever, and it's going to be positive for the game. I feel like it's somewhere in between. We're just gonna have to see what happens. But I would always want to know what you think in the comments below. Number 1, do you like they put this out? And number 2, what do you think about some of the restrictions or limitations? Did anything surprise you? Does anything concern you? Or do you feel like all this sounds exactly what you expected? As always, thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.